We're now live. We're
Oh, we
recording.
are?
Hmm.
Hi, everybody. It's the newest episode of Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. And Shawn was just telling me about his exciting life that he leads. And he's going on an exciting trip. And
Well,
he's,
first of all, I just opened a water bottle and it just splooged all over me. Who fills up water bottles so much? Why can't they fill up the Dorito cups this or the Dorito bags this full?
it just squirted all over your face.
I'm literally covered in water, and so is my computer.
It's going to look like you peed your pants at
No one
work.
can see my pants.
Okay, well, that's good.
All right. So
Anyway,
yeah, my excursion next week. I'm going to Texas. Gonna go get me some Whataburger and talk to the stars. The ACM
I
awards are
saw a
next
picture
week.
that you posted last night, and it was with you, and you were with Luke Bryan. Was
We're all
that
buddies.
last night, or is that an
Yeah,
old
he comes over
picture?
every now and then.
No, no,
When
no, no, no.
when
I'm
him and
like, was
Caroline are
Luke Bryan
fighting,
in town last night, or was that just like a throwback douche picture?
can't tell you. When when
Because
him and
I have
Caroline
one
are
of those
fighting, he
too
has
that
to
I
have a
could
place to
throw
go,
up.
Sadie.
Listen,
He
I
comes and knocks
just,
on my door.
I shut up. You're such a nerd. No, I saw that and I was like, oh, damn, Luke Bryan must be in town. And of
No,
course, Shawn is there. But
that's not
no,
the case. You wanna know what really happened?
what?
So I was looking. Well, I've been purposely trying to stay off of social media a little bit more. Like
Mhm.
I'll go on for work purposes, but I try to stay off for like personal. I have been trying to stay off for personal reasons, and I noticed that I hadn't really posted anything in months. And
Yeah.
then I had a couple of friends pass away, and so I posted something sad, and I was like, I guess I'm officially back, and I can't just let like sad posts live there. So I need to post something else. So I was going through my camera roll, and
Yeah.
one
And
of
that
them
popped up.
well, there was a bunch of dumb shit, like my dog digging in the backyard and my trampoline blowing over the fence and things that people don't wanna see, and so I'm scrolling a little bit more, and the most relevant thing that I felt like I could post was a picture with me and Luke Bryan, which was, like, 2 months ago.
Listen, but I would rather see a picture of you and your dog digging in the backyard because that's who you are. To where you with Luke Bryan, that's like a job thing. That's like to where, pictures of your life and your family. I know a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people will say, I don't post pictures of my family on social media. And that's totally fine. But
I do, I mean, that's not my excuse. My pictures just seem boring, and I couldn't come up with anything creative to say about them. And I'm not a poster to just a post, I don't just hammer people, like, there every post that I post on my social media is very well thought through. It's not a "Oh, I should post something randomly," 'cause no, it was there's a lot of
you know
thinking
what?
that goes
You
on.
truly had me, fooled because I thought you were hanging out with Luke Bryan last night, and I was wearing, like, sweatpants, and my hair was in a bun, and I'm like, "Look at that. Look at him go. Go get him,
Well,
buddy."
no, I wasn't. I was also in sweatpants on my couch watching the Tom Brady roast, which we're gonna get to in a minute, but it was a thirst trap. I mean, Luke Bryan's gonna get more likes than my dog, so Luke Bryan he got the nod.
I just feel weird, like, today, should I randomly post? I don't know. I
You post.
feel
I just needed something so that it wasn't like 3 sad posts in a row.
it was just it was thirsty. Anyway, let's move
I
on to
don't
this
care.
roast for Sean for Tom Brady. And did you watch it last night?
Yeah, actually, I try to do my hair like him today. I don't know if you could tell if you're watching the YouTube channel or watching on Facebook. I was looking at Tom's beautiful hair, which is fake for sure. Like,
No way. You think
oh,
so?
even Peyton Manning made a joke about it being fake, by the way. But and not that Tom could stand up and be like, "My hair is not fake," but like it's got fake tendencies. Maybe not all of it's fake, like, but I think that he gets it filled. Like there's some
Oh,
of it's
you
fake.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and
that like we were watching it and I am like, this is the perfect specimen of a human being.
mhm,
Like, this is a perfect we are looking like he sits perfectly,
mhm.
his face is perfect, and, that was, like, a lot of the joke of the night was just how, like, insanely perfect this guy is. But
Yeah,
anyway,
he's a
I
beautiful
yeah.
man, and I realize that I am not a beautiful man, and I'm not on that level, but I still feel like if I can comb my hair like him, maybe I can be one notch up higher. So I was messing with it for real today because lately I've been kinda just, like, spiking it up, and it's kinda all over the place. the wind episode. It was just nasty. But he had so his hair is kind of spiky like mine, but it's like a messy part. He like parts it. And so this morning I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna try since I watched it last, I'm gonna try to do the Tom Brady thing. And I got it parted pretty good. It's just it's not it doesn't work as
So
well
you
on
put a
me.
hat on? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
'cause I
again, if
couldn't
you're
get it right.
watching the actual video of the show, you put the hat on. Oh, dude,
I
you
just
should
couldn't
have
get it
gone
right.
for it.
Well, mine's a little bit longer than his too, and so, like, if I did exactly what he was doing, mine would be, like, pointed to the sky. I'm trying to grow my hair out, so
Well, I think your hair looks great, and maybe I'm just saying that because I feel bad that I called your Luke Bryan picture a thirst trap. I apologize if that hurt you. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. But anyway, back to this Tom Brady roast. It's
yeah,
3 hours long,
too
and
long.
it is
First
it's so
observation,
long.
too
It
long.
was so long, and we
I
will
started
discuss
fast
that.
forwarding. I
You
fast
did?
forwarded yeah, I fast forwarded through the guy with the funny haircut. He's got,
Yeah.
like he's a comedian and,
Yeah,
like,
he
the bottom
wasn't
part
yeah.
shaved. I don't hope I didn't miss much with him, and I'm sad to say it, but I fast forward through Ben Affleck because he was
Okay, well,
towards the
wait.
end.
I have Ben Affleck, and a lot of people were saying, "What's up with Ben? What's up?" He went on a rant and a rave. I have a clip of it. And again, if you're watching, you'll be able to see the actual video. But if you're just listening, that's okay too, because I've got a clip of it. So here is Ben Affleck, and he got up to talk. This is just rambling.
Fans have your back, right? That's what a fan. Fans buy tickets. They show up. Win or lose, they support you. I know. I went to Foxborough with Steve Grogan was the quarterback. Okay, yeah. Like you sitting there hiding behind your keyboard, spewing out all this toxic about people you'd be afraid to come up to if you saw them at the car wash. You know, people who went out there and did something, who were successful, or even if another player ended up catching a football on his helmet, maybe they failed.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I'm not sad that I fast forwarded through that part.
Yeah, it was just like this rambling madness, and I hope it doesn't mean he fell off the wagon, but I will say he is married to J-Lo, and I don't think anything would push me off a wagon quicker than I think being married to J-Lo.
What's wrong with
Maybe
J-Lo?
I don't know. She just seems like okay, not to go off here, but I saw somebody had leaked a video and it was Ben Affleck and whatever, Jennifer Lopez's wedding in Italy or wherever they were at. And somebody secretly recorded I laugh because I found it so cringe. She did like a sexy dance and a routine and she sang a song that she wrote for their wedding day. Now you may say, "Wow, that is like okay." But imagine being at a wedding of two people and she's like doing a sexy dance and singing and he was just like sitting there and the video was so good, but it was like cringe level 32, which is pretty high. But I think she would be hard to live with. I just gotta say. Now back
Hmm.
to the roast.
I don't know a whole lot about J-Lo, like, in her personal life, and so,
Well,
yeah,
so
I
recently J-Lo wrote like she released an album, but she also wanted to release a movie with the album. And then she also wanted to release a like a I don't know, there was a third thing she wanted to release
a
all
book?
around this album, maybe a book, yeah, and she went to all these different streaming companies and said, "Listen, I wanna tell the story of how much I fall in love because 'cause she's been married, like, 5
Mhm.
times, and, she's like, "This is my journey," and I guess everyone turned her down, so she had to pay to get it made, and it has flopped on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got, like, a
Ooh.
14%, and it's bad, and, like, it's just oh, it's so bad, but actually Ben Affleck is in the movie a little bit because they, like, interview people for her, and he's like, "I just think a lot of this should be between a man and a wife and a like, why are we talking about this? And she's like, oh, and this got me. She's like, stop it, Poppy.
Oh yeah,
Stop it,
no, that
Poppy.
would
And
not
I'm
be.
like, oh shit, that drive me to fall off the wagon. Ben, no one blames you if you're going home every night to hear, stop it, Poppy.
Bobby, this isn't about me and you. Bobby, take that out.
No, this is what.
That is not part of the script.
Didn't they break up once? Like,
Yes,
weren't they a
well, he
thing?
kind
And
of
then
left
she,
her at the altar pretty much. I mean, it was like,
the first time.
yeah, and she was devastated. Here's the problem, and I'm just going to say it. He is an unstable person, and she is so in love with him. I do feel bad because you could tell every guy she's been with, she's not been into. This has been she is so madly in love with him, and I think that's going to end terribly because I think that he's just like, "Jeez," Anyway, so that
Yeah.
was what
Okay.
he
Yeah,
contributed to the
I missed
roast.
him. Can I just
Yeah.
tell you my thoughts on the whole thing too? Like,
Please
besides
go.
it being long, and I know you've got clips from some of your favorite parts, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
sound a little bit like a prude, but like I felt like a lot of it was over the top as far as like, do we have to say I cuss, I say the F word, but do we have to use it every other word? I mean, it just that part felt a
Yeah.
little over the top that everybody did that. And so it was refreshing when Peyton Manning came on, and Peyton Manning didn't say one bad word. He didn't say a single bad word. He didn't do one dirty joke. And the other thing that bugged me was also like it was the same jokes over and over and over.
Yeah, about, like, how hot he is
Yes, the
and
how hot
that
he is,
stuff, yeah.
the karate teacher
No, I
taking
can't get
Giselle.
over those jokes. The karate teacher. Do you wanna stop there and talk about karate teacher? Do you wanna
Well, there
give
were
your
we
whole
can.
story?
Let's go back to it. There was one more
Okay.
joke that then the cheating, like the cheating at football.
Oh, yeah.
Deflating the balls and
Yeah.
Spygate and all of those kind of things. Like, those 3 were the 3 low-hanging fruit that everybody felt like they had to take. There was some good stuff in there, don't get me wrong. I thought it was pretty good, but it just felt like, all right, this comedian's gonna tell the same jokes in a different form than the last comedian did or the
Yeah.
last athlete did because it was all the same jokes.
I will say that 3 hours, you're right, was way too long. I had to split this up into 2 nights. I was like, "Well, I can only make it through an hour and a half. I can't take this long." Also, I'm gonna admit that I don't know a lot of football, and so I'm like, "Who the hell is this guy talking?" And I do feel bad for well, let me play you if you're done, Sean. Let me play you just this is a quick compilation of some of the best jokes of the evening
Yeah, play.
from the roast.
Tom Brady, why do you look like a gay Tom Brady?
You sometimes gotta your coach. You know who else they coach? Giselle. She that karate man. 8 karate class today, and she's still a white belt. The only bruises she had were on her ass.
Do you know that every morning Kevin wakes up at 4 a.m. to make a movie? I love your movies, or as I call them, short films. You have 7 rings. Well, 8 now that Giselle gave hers back. Tom also lost $30 million in crypto. Tom, how did you fall for that? I mean, even Gronk was like, me know that not real money. Like,
Bert Kreischer is the king. He looks like the Tiger King and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King.
an ex-athlete, high cheekbones, silky hair. You remind me too much of my stepdad now.
Kim was terrified to be here
This is
tonight,
bad.
not because of this, but because her kids are home with their dad.
Oh, sorry. Oh. So anyway, that was kind of like a compilation. I would say the best roaster of the entire show was Nikki Glazer, hands down.
She's thirsty.
She
Is that
doesn't
just her
even
joke?
care.
Is that just her? I've never watched Nikki Glazer before, and I will now because I thought she was great too. She got a standing ovation. But like the premise of her joke, if you didn't watch her whole skit was like how she was going to basically bone Tom Brady. And so is that like
Yeah.
how is she thirsty like that, or is that just like a skit?
No, she's totally open about being thirsty. Now she has a boyfriend who she's had for like 10 years, and she actually mentions him in her roast. But
I didn't know if that was real or if she was making that part
no,
up.
she's had a boyfriend for 10 years, but she has talked in the past about and they've been off and on because she talked in the past about how she hooked up with Bobby Bones.
Oh, really?
About how like they hooked up on Dancing with the Stars, and she went down and dirty and was like, here are the things we did, here's where we did it. And Bobby Bones, who's like squeaky clean, he was like, no comment, no comment. She's like, oh yeah, we did it in the bathroom over there on episode 3 and
Was
the
she on that same season?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway, so that's kind of
I
like
don't even really know who she is.
she's a comedian, but I think she's like insanely funny.
She was the best.
Um,
I would agree that she was the best outside of Peyton Manning's not a comedian, and he wasn't necessarily trying to be a comedian. But I love Peyton, and I love how he was able to be the only one of the night, literally the only one of the night that kept his whole thing squeaky clean, but was
yeah.
still really, really funny. And so he was great. I was awkwarded out. I was uncomfortable for Tom the entire time
I
because
know.
he felt uncomfortable, but as soon as so at the end, I didn't know he would get to talk, but at the end when he went, he
Mhm.
was telling like the dirtiest, raunchiest jokes of them all and saying the F word more than anyone else. And I was like, all right, I take back feeling uncomfortable for the first 2 hours and 45 minutes of this thing because you talk like that too. And you're one of those people.
Well, no, you have to know he has handlers who write things for him. And so he's got comedians who probably wrote all that for him. But he did a really good job. It was uncomfortable to see the football players who are not performers because that is so hard to do what these comedians do. And then you get football players. Also, can I say, Gronk looked constantly confused.
He was on something.
Really? Because it was like they would straight up look at him and just say something so rough about Gronk. Like, wait, let me see if I have this. Is this what it was? Oh no, well, I already played it. It was the
You really are. I mean, you're the best to ever play for too long. I mean, you retired, then you came back, and then you retired again. I mean, I get it. It's hard to walk away from something that's not your pregnant girlfriend. It's tough. Hey, to be fair, he didn't know she was pregnant. He just thought she was getting fat.
okay, I thought that was the Gronk
That was not
clip.
Gronk stuff.
But
That was
then
Tom Brady
as we
stuff.
kept going, it made me laugh and I just wanted to keep listening to her. So I apologize. That was Nikki Glazer, who I think was the best night of the roast. But also seeing Gronk, it made me so sad because it was like he was like not all there.
Well, he's hit his head a lot of times. He's known for being stupid. That's why they were
I
making
did
all
not
the
know he
stupid
was
jokes.
that
But
he was
then
that stupid though.
you add alcohol and whatever else he may have been on to stupid, and you get what he did. You hear Kevin Hart? He was not kidding. It was off script. They had to phonetically spell out normal words on the teleprompter for Gronk so that he could say them, and he was still struggling to say them.
Oh my God.
I wish I could see
shouldn't laugh.
somehow, some way. I wish the teleprompter operator would leak what was on the teleprompter when Gronk was up there, just so we could see how they
Yeah.
had it written out for him. Because I guarantee you that would be one of the funniest things you've ever seen.
Or actually, that wouldn't be the funniest thing because there was probably a rehearsal. That would have been the funniest where they were like, dude, we're going to have to spell it out for this guy on every level. That's what I want to see, not what was written, but who
That's
made the
true.
decision to be like, we got to really lower the bar for this.
The
Because
other thing that
he just didn't get that people were like making fun of him. He had this like dumb puppy dog look like, huh?
yeah.
It upset me kind of. It kind of made me sad. You know what else made me sad? Can I bring up?
What?
Kim Kardashian was there. I know
Why?
there's
How's she involved? Why was she a part of
her and
this?
Tom Brady are, I guess, really close. And for a lot of people
Why?
said they were dating. I don't know, Sean. I don't know these people.
Why? Tom Brady can be friends with anyone in the world. Why does he want to be friends with her?
Well, listen, because again, in the industry, you should know this. You hung out with Luke Bryan last night. In the industry, he knows how many followers she has. So you attach yourself to that, and then it goes viral that she was there, and then it's your name that's out there more. It's all totally a game. But I did feel bad for her because when she came out, and I do have audio of this, but when she came out, she got booed so badly that Netflix has decided to remove it from that. So if you watch it now, You cannot see this. Don't worry. I have it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So much,
please
Kevin.
welcome to the stage a living legend, a world-class lover.
That was Ron Burgundy, and that was weird that he was Ron Burgundy and not just Will Ferrell too. But go ahead and play the Kim Kardashian part.
I am nailing this. And yes, we'll get to the Ron Burgundy thing. But anyway, back to Kim Kardashian.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Well, thank you. I know a lot of people make fun of your height.
That you
Like
got
that-
something wrong.
What did I do wrong? No, I didn't.
Nothing played.
What do you mean nothing played?
She
The whole
said one
time?
word. She said one word, and then it was just like silence.
No, it was booing. You didn't hear booing?
Oh no, I heard people cheering.
No, listen, I'm going to play it again and I'm going to turn it up because people cheer at the beginning and then they all start booing. And again, you'll see in the video if you're watching on the video on our YouTube or Facebook. But no, listen, they boo her and it's kind of sad and they cut it out. Hang on.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Well, thank you. I know a lot of people make fun of your height.
Yeah, you can kind of hear it.
Okay, it was so bad though that they had to stand up and like tell people like chill out, dude. Like everybody.
Why do
stop
they not
booing.
like her?
I don't know. I mean, there were a lot of jokes about her, you know, kind of liking football players
Oh,
and being kind of like slutty, which I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know. It's just, there were a lot of jokes about her too, I noticed, but I did feel bad for her because I think I don't know if she knew she was signing up for it
Oh,
in
they
that
knew.
way. You
I
think
think
so?
they
Because
all
man, a
knew.
lot of the people came for her. It
I
just
don't.
made me kind of sad.
I think that if you're involved in something like that, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay. Well,
I didn't. At the end of the day, I thought there was a lot of funny parts. I thought that it probably could have been cut in half, and I think that also to me, it was just a little over the top. Like some of the jokes were just overdone.
well, you talked about when I played the wrong clip. You talked about Ron Burgundy when Will Ferrell came out, and that was kind of cool, like at the beginning. But then it was just like really not funny. It was kind of funny, but it really nothing that he said made me really laugh. He kind of seemed drunk. Everyone had to have been really drunk. Because it shows everybody getting drunk when they're doing these roasts. So everyone, but I thought also that it was odd that they did this big thing that Ron Burgundy was coming out. Should I play the clip now or did I already play it over?
You didn't play very much
Here
of
we
it.
go.
But you won't be forgotten. You'll always be remembered as Eli Manning's bitch.
That
Okay,
was
now
funny. He got the whole.
He did good.
He
did
got
good
the
on
whole
that one.
crowd. He got the whole entire crowd, and this is a full arena of people. He got everyone to chant, "Tom Brady is Eli Manning's bitch," and that
Yeah.
was funny. I did laugh at that part pretty hard, but I was like, I kept waiting for him to come out of Ron Burgundy and be Will Ferrell, and he never did. He was Ron Burgundy the whole time.
And everybody did again go crazy for it, but I don't know. It was like you said, it was way too long, but it was also kind of here's what they should have done. They should have cut out the athletes. They should have, because none
No.
of them except for Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, he was funny, but Gronk was funny in his own right. Randy Moss was funny in his own right too.
I don't think Randy Moss was funny. I thought he struggled, and I felt just bad for him because he was shaking so bad, and you can tell that he's like, because that's how I am when I have to talk in front of people. Is I just go blank, and I could see from one blanker to another. I was like, Randy's going into blank mode. I have been in blank
don't
mode
think
where people
so.
are staring at you, and you're like, Well,
I
and
don't think
that's how I
so.
felt.
I didn't get that sense from Randy Moss. He's also on TV every weekend on all these football shows,
I
and he
don't
has been
know.
for years. I think that I thought he was a pro. His was one of the reasons I liked it was short and it was to the point. He had one joke and he buried that joke into Tom and then he moved on and he was done. And I
But
like
I
that.
think the joke bombed. If you listen, the
No, it was
joke
just about him not getting a ring, and so it was funny to a sports fan. I thought it was funny.
okay.
No, you know who I thought was nervous, and this shouldn't be a nervous guy, was that Bert Kreischer guy, the
Oh, yeah.
fat guy with the don't normally wears it
Yes.
and doesn't wear a shirt.
Did you
He was
watch
literally his microphone was
Yes.
shaking.
And so they were both holding like these orange microphones. And yeah, I felt bad for him too, because the other guy, he was with another gentleman, another
Tom
comic.
Segura.
And the other guy was just like flowing, like he was easy, like so he must have smoked something. But this Bert guy was like shaking so hard and he was so nervous and he kept blurting things out and like screaming. And I didn't even know who this guy is, but I did feel bad for him because that orange microphone was like shaking.
I know who Bert is. He has a bunch of Netflix specials, and they're really funny. He's a funny guy. Normally, he does his comedy with his shirt off, and he's a big, chubby, out of shape guy, and so that's his shtick. So maybe it was because he wasn't without his shirt on. Maybe it was because those two guys who are like middle-aged white dudes who are overweight and just prototypical white dudes were their whole thing was like black people jokes, and
It really was.
maybe they thought like halfway through this isn't going over very well. And if you're going to tell a racist joke and people aren't laughing as hard as you think they should be, you're probably going to get into your own head.
But that's what they say about these roasts is there's nothing off limits. And we saw a lot of that because they made a lot of Jewish jokes, they made a lot of racial jokes, they made a lot of
Tom Brady made a
the
9/11 joke.
jujitsu. I mean,
Oh, the other one that I saw that people were upset about was there was a lot of Aaron Hernandez jokes.
yes. Okay, so Aaron Hernandez's girlfriend, I don't know if they got married. Did they end up getting married before he went into the slammer? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
His significant other came out and said, "It is a cruel world," because there were jokes about, hanging. I'm not going to leave you hanging like Aaron Hernandez, and which is how he killed himself in prison, if you don't know.
Everyone always asks me how big Gronk's dick is. Now, don't get me wrong, it gets the job done. But there was this other Patriots tight end. Now, he was hung. Think about it.
And so she came out and I think it was just like in a tweet where she's like, "What a cruel world to raise my children in," that was very sad. Again, I felt guilty. I think I laughed some, but then I felt so guilty for a lot of them. Also coming out today, who I don't feel as bad about, I'm like, okay, is Giselle.
Yeah, she's saying it's her kid, but she's putting it on the kids.
Yeah, she's
saying the kids are deeply distraught.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think that sounds just like lawyer talk. You can tell lawyer talk when you hear lawyer talk.
Agreed.
And that right there is lawyer talk. And that's, and really, there really weren't many jokes. There were jokes about the kids. I mean, I guess there was
Tom
the one
abandoning
about
his
Tom
kids.
abandoning him, which I don't really believe Tom. I don't know them, but to me, it seems like he played football, and when you are the best at something, it takes time and it takes your effort and it takes everything. And I think the dude made a choice and he sacrificed. And I think a lot of people make that decision just in everyday life. But the jujitsu jokes about her banging her jujitsu, that was relentless, and that's where that's coming from. Because there was nothing that was said about his children that would.
He must have a small peepee, by the way. Can we dissect the reason that she would be boning the karate teacher?
No, I haven't.
She's married to Tom Brady. She's married to Tom Brady. He has everything. As we explained when we started this, he is a perfect physical specimen, and he also is rich. He's the greatest football player of all time. What is wrong with him? Why would you bang your karate instructor?
It doesn't matter, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Tom Brady seems great, but I wonder if you really sat down with Tom Brady, would it be like sitting down with a piece of toast? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could look a certain way and look, but if you don't have, like, that connection, and I'm not saying Giselle is a rocket scientist or anything, but I think that, I don't know, he seems like, he wears socks while making love.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
my
I
guess.
mean that
And
could
you
make
know what? She's no slouch herself, you know what I mean? It's
well,
not like
that's
she's like,
true.
"I'm so lucky to be with Tom Brady." I mean, she is a super duper model, and so
Yeah, but that's
whatever.
all the I've never seen the Karate Teacher. Maybe you can find a picture and post it, but uh,
I will.
guys are very physically attracted creatures. And
Yeah.
so like
But we don't know what
if I'm a
Tom
chick, I'm not if I got Tom Brady, that's the peak. It's not going to get better.
Okay, I also had this thought with Kevin Costner's ex. I was looking at pictures and I'm like, "How you letting that go? How you letting that go, girl?" And apparently in that instance, she has moved on somewhat with one of his friends who he let live on their land like in a guest house, and then shway, took the wife, went on a
Good.
trip to Hawaii, and that was it. But I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, you've got John Dutton, like John Dutton, like, oh, but no, but I also don't know
Kevin
what it is
Costner
to live
seems
like
like a
Kevin
dick.
Costner. Maybe he like shits with the door open. He could be one of those
He Well,
monsters.
that's a monster move, but he also just seems like a dick. Like everything you hear about Kevin
Really?
Costner, yeah, he plays the roles very well, but I think once he gets off the set, he's like, "I'm fucking Kevin Costner. Do you know who I am?" He's that guy. I think. I really do think he is. One last thing I want to leave with before we get done with the roast thing and wrap this up is you kept saying that there's nothing off limits at the roasts,
Yeah.
and that's how it should be, but early on, there was one thing that seemed to be off limits, and it seemed to piss off Tom. It was when the Jeff bald guy that's the roast master, Jeff
Jeffrey
Ross.
Ross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made a joke about Robert Kraft, who's the owner of the Patriots, who got in trouble for getting happy ending massages. He made a joke about Robert Kraft getting massages, and Tom got up from his seat, walked over to the podium, and
Yeah.
said, "Don't say that shit again." And he looked serious.
That scrawny rookie famously walked into the owner Robert Kraft's office and said, "I'm the best decision your organization has ever made." Would you like a massage? I love Robert Kraft. I love. Okay.
Ooh, well, this.
And he looked serious. So that was a big question. Was that kind of a joke or was that for real? And I know Nikki Glazer went on the Howard Stern show and was talking about it, and she said that apparently it was all in jest. It was not like a threat or anything like that, but it looked pretty like
He was
threatening.
serious. He was serious. There
Yeah.
was much more damaging things being said throughout the night to Tom, and he just sat there and took it on the chin, his dimply chin. But that part he did not take on the chin. The other thing that I noticed is I think that there must have been a rule that you don't mess with Mr. Kraft. He's an old man. He owns the Patriots. He's been through a
Yeah.
lot because he got up and spoke. And after everyone got up and spoke, the next person that got up would roast that person. They did not mess with Mr. Kraft. They left him alone.
No.
Kevin
He's
Hart made
probably
him get up and do a
maybe
shot with Bill Belichick, who he just recently fired, but that was the most mess with he got.
Yeah,
And
but
so I
didn't you
think he
feel
was
that
on the do not touch list.
But well, probably. I think there's somebody who's on the do not touch list, and I think he's right up there. But I thought it was great. Again, it's on Netflix if you get a chance to watch it. I've been bugging Sean. I'm like, you gotta watch this because it's so funny.
I wouldn't watch it again.
No,
And
I
not that
wouldn't
you would watch a
either.
comedy thing again, but I didn't like it enough. Like if they did a roast of another great football, if they did a roast of Michael Jordan, who's the GOAT in basketball, I love Michael Jordan. I probably wouldn't watch it based on this one just because it was funny, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, and again, 3 hours long was just that's a commitment, man. We got to thank our sponsors before we head out at Cristiana Salon and Spa and talk to you about everything that they have to offer. They're going to be waxing Shawn soon, which is going to be very exciting. That's some bonus content coming your way. And they are offering 10% off, Shawn, if you're going to get something done, whether it's a hair coloring or you're going to get your nails done. Maybe you want to go get a massage. It doesn't matter. They use the best products because they care. They care about your hair and your skin and your nails, and they don't want to give you all the toxic stuff. They're going to take good care of you when you go in. And I'm talking to them right now because my niece is getting married in a couple weeks, and so we're going to do like a nail spa party. You can do that. And I'm going to say Sadie and Shawn have no friends, so I could get 10% off. What do you think of that, Shawn?
That's pretty darn cool. I'll wait for my invite. Can't wait for
Okay.
the spa day. That'll be a fun day.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Find them at Shields in Johnstown. And then also thank you to our show presenting sponsor, Tallent Co Real Estate. Their website, homeandnoco.com. And I think that's it. And Shawn, I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.